By now on this channel, you've heard the name Hanchow. In fact, if you've been around the Model 3 for any period of time, you've heard the name Hanchow. Make some of the best, coolest stuff. Now, this next one though I'm going to look at today, I'm not the first one to take a look at this, but they sent it out to me, so I've got to take a look at this. I'm actually kind of excited about this. Here's the thing. I do not wear jewelry. I have my ring that says I can no longer flirt with other women. But we're going to take a look today at the Hanchow Smart Ring. Ready for this? Cue the music. I mean, look at that. They even put a little light in the box. I mean, that's great. Now, why are you buying one of these little guys? Why would I buy one of these little guys? First of all, I love little gadgets, especially little ones that actually solve a problem. Now, I've reviewed and I've looked at and will continue to look at things that are total gimmicks. You know, those are still fine, they're fun. Our houses are filled with stuff like that. But this one actually does solve a bit of a problem, and that problem is, and again, this isn't for everybody, but that problem is the whole getting into your car thing when your phone just doesn't unlock the dang car. Sorry, I didn't mean to get so mad there. Just got back from Mexico when we were in that hurricane. I'm a little grumpy. But in all seriousness, we've all been there where we go out to our car, we have our phone with us, and we go out to this crazy door handle. Nothing happens, right? It's not that it's not synced. It's not that we don't have the latest updates. For whatever reason lately, it's just you're not always clicking with the car. It doesn't always open. And in my latest video where we're talking about this in the comments, so many of you guys agreed with me that you got to do the old, grab the back door handle trick to get to the, the charge part to open. And there's just some kind of a disconnect there. And so the whole point is that if the phone just wasn't working, the alternative was to take your key and open it using the key. And of course, for most people, that's going to be just fine. But there's some people out there that aren't most people. And, this as a ring doesn't look all that cool. So they say that the purpose then of this ring, ready, I'm doing it again, is to solve that problem. Because what you should be able to do, listen for it, what you should be able to do here is take and put it on your finger, walk up, and just kind of like you're knocking on your car, and it's supposed to open. Now, I haven't programmed mine yet, so obviously mine's not going to do that. But that is the point of this. Now, we'll see how good you guys can actually see this. They actually have on here an optional Tesla logo, if you can see that out here in my garage. And then you also have the optional in the inside here I know it looks like I'm looking off camera, but I'm checking to see if you guys can see it. You can put some kind of engraving in here. And for me, they put CF Tesla because they sent it to me because of the channel. But quick first impressions, as someone who doesn't wear jewelry, you can see the kind of ring I wear. I have a white gold, very simple, very thin, nothing fancy. This is my type of ring. This is what you would catch me wearing, nothing more fancy than that. Now, take a look at the other ring here. They're both fairly similar. I mean, the other one's obviously a little bit too big for me. Well, not entirely, because I wear it on a different finger, but it is a little bit too big. But you can see that their profile, it's very thin. It is not thick. Okay, so little white gold ring, kind of used to seeing. Very thick, very thin, very nice. So in terms of looks, I have to say it's pretty nice, and the color is great, and it's, well, we'll go over the details of the ring later. It feels good, and it is very light in your hand. See, now the real question is, does it actually work? So for this next part, let's go in the car. I'll show you how you sync it up. It's very simple. All you need is a key card, and this should be just all you need, and we should be good to go. I'm just talking too much. Let's go to the car. All right, now so here's what you need. You need a Tesla Model 3, you need your ring, and you need your key card. Okay, you got all these things, it's pretty much all you need. Now, can you guys see my screen? You really can't. Come here. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go in here to your settings, okay? So that's obviously this little button right down here. By the way, guys, I have been loving my gloss, my matte actually finish screen protector. It's great. It takes so much of the glare off of my screen when I'm driving around in the summertime. It's pretty much awesome. Enough about that. Go to here to locks and see how you've got me, Superman, obviously. And then you have the add button up there. All right, now get ready. This is going to be really complicated. We're coming up here, going to add the plus. Okay, so it says to add a phone key is over here, so that's if you're adding a new phone. But we're going to be over here, right? So we're adding a key fob, which is what we're going to be more or less doing, or adding a key card. So it says scan your new key behind cup holder to begin. So down here is the cup holders, and to make it easier, I'm gonna move this right here. I'm gonna clean the dust out of the way because I'm just that kind of a creator. I'm gonna take this, and what this should do now, because this has never been synced, I should be able to just drop it on here. Boom, just like that. You hear the wonderful noise. Take that, set it over here, take the key card, place it down there, and just like that, it is done. How cool is that? I love it when things work well and simple. So technically now, I could go put my phone, my key card away, and this should work. All right, now good. Now we're back in the garage where we started, except this time it's synced. So now just to prove it, let me go to this door handle here, and this should not open. Right? Yeah, because this works like the key, not like the phone. There's no Bluetooth thing. Well, I don't know how the whole thing works, but grabbing the door does not open it. Now, if I tap it, all right, so I'm really glad that you guys saw me fail like that, because the reality is that your ring can't be way back here. I got long fingers, and so what that means is that if I tap it way out here or down here, it's not close up to the car. I have to move it forward a little bit or bend my finger a little bit forward, and then it was able to unlock the car just as advertised. So that's super cool. So now after having the ring for 4 days, I finally figured out how to actually tap it right on the car. So before I was just kind of knocking on the door and I was like, why isn't this working? Well, it's never really supposed to work like that. What you're actually supposed to do is take it, down this area here, to take and hold it there, and you see it works every single time. In fact, you can even put it there and it'll lock the car back up again. So that's just a lot more comforting to know that it was me, not the ring. So the other thing about this is that this works like a key, like your phone, like the actual card. And so means if you get in your car and your Bluetooth fails with your actual phone, and you don't happen to have the key card on you, which I never carry it on me anyway, it's in my safe, or my wife has a backup in her purse for emergencies, that sort of thing, that this still will function as a key. This will still actually drive your car. So it's going to work just the same as that key card. You can get in your car and drive it if you have this thing on. So that is actually a really neat little backup plan to have this on there. Also, on the website, it doesn't say anywhere on there about it being waterproof, but I've been using it all day, showering the kids, cleaning dishes, that sort of thing, and it still seems to work. So I'm assuming it works. And if you look at the design of it, you don't really see any seals or spots on it where it would get water in it. So I'm assuming it's all fine. So now, who is this ring actually for? Who's going to buy something like this? Is this a gimmick, or is this a real product that people should buy and should own? Would I personally recommend it? Well, on one hand, I don't recommend you spend money on anything you don't actually need. You can go crazy with Tesla's parts and accessories, and you guys know I love reviewing them. It's a lot of fun. You send me something, I'll review it, I'll tell you what I think, but I don't very often tell someone that they should or should not buy them, because that's really up to you and your bank account. One thing I do look at is, would this solve a purpose? Is there actually solving a problem? And not a problem that I've created in my mind just because someone sent me something that they call a solution, but have I actually experienced this problem? Have I been looking for a solution? Does it solve something like that? And the answer to this is yes, in the same way that carrying a key card solves that problem. See, here's the deal with me. I carry around a phone like this. This is also my wallet, right? I mean, I have any of the cards I need are all in the back of this thing. I don't carry around a big thick wallet. I do not carry around my key card. I just don't have room for it. And so on the back of my mind, it is kind of nerve-wracking. What if my phone has an issue and I can't get in my car and drive it? It's weird. This solves that for me. So from that purpose, what I pay for it, yes. Now we'll get into the price in just a second. Does it look good, on the finger? What does it feel like? That's something I'm gonna have to get used to. I've never worn a ring other than my wedding ring, which I never take off. So it's just kind of, I don't know. It is there, and it's like putting on a watch when you've never worn a watch before, and all of a sudden you put on a watch, you always notice it, right? Like it's always there. That's what the ring feels like right now. I feel like I'll never not just notice it. Also, you want to make sure you get that right, because you can see on my finger here that it is extremely slippery, and yeah, it's just not the right size for me. So, I mean, I know they did ask me, hey, can you go down to like a jeweler or something and get your ring measured and our finger measured. And I probably should have done that. One way or another, I'll get this ring fixed. I'll get it fitting right, because I actually do plan on wearing it. And even with it loose like this, I mean, it's not exactly falling off. So I will try that as well. But let's talk about other people. Also, one thing to mention now that my wife has seen it, we've kind of spent some time looking at the rings. What I'm actually deciding to do is I'm actually going to replace my wedding ring with this ring because I really don't like, I've discovered after a few days wearing it, wearing two rings. It just isn't me. You know, some people have them over here on this finger. They're like this. To me, that just, it's silly. I don't like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this sized for my wedding ring. Remove this because my wife and I were talking about getting different rings anyway. And, you know, guys wear all kinds of weird stuff, rubber rings and everything nowadays. So if I could just have one ring, have it be on the wedding finger, then that's going to be an awesome replacement. If you're the kind of person that's like, I don't know, like I'm a mountain biker. Like when I mountain bike, I'm waiting for a company, by the way, to send me a roof rack for the top of my car. And so eventually I'll be mountain biking. I don't want to take my phone and all that stuff with me. Let's just say I didn't. And so come back to my car, and the car opens for me because I happen to have the key here. I don't have to worry about cards or nothing like that. That would be a good solution. So some kind of a physical, thing like that would be good. Maybe if you're into the running thing, which I still don't get why people do, then, maybe you don't want to carry around all the heavy stuff, but something like this would be great. It's ceramic, so it doesn't, it doesn't feel too bad on the finger. But let's get into the statistics of this thing, and then let's get into the price. Wear it on your finger, touch it lightly, and unlock immediately. What I want to look at there is that talking about touch it to the car? Because it doesn't say that. Or can I just go like that? Let's go back to the car for a second. All right, so the car is locked right now. You can see it's not opening. Let's see. Nope. So next, it's a ceramic material like we already talked about. You can add your name, you can customize it. You got multiple colors if you want to get all fancy with it. I personally have the black. And so if you choose to buy the ring without the logo, without any kind of imprinting on it, it's $129 to buy the ring. And if you add a little logo or something on there, it can go up to $149 on it as well. So you get to make that choice and you get to put it on the website, blah, blah, blah. So will this end up being just another cool gadget, little thingamajig that I got sent to me that's gonna end up sitting in a drawer, or it's gonna end up sitting on a shelf? For the foreseeable future, I'm gonna keep it on the finger. You're gonna start seeing it in videos, it'll be there. You can keep tabs on and ask questions about it when you see it, about how well I actually like it. But for now, I'm gonna wear it, I'm gonna test it out, I'm gonna see, does this actually work, or is it just some annoying thing that I put on my finger? We'll stay tuned to find out on that. So to end this video, how about a nice little montage?